Welcome to Mr. V Teaching Math. In this session, I'm going to be looking at how I would like the students in my classroom to solve questions that require the use of order of operations, otherwise known as BEDMAS. Now, I've had a lot of complaints over the years from students and teachers about how picky I am about how this is done, and how much work it takes, and how long it is. Well, there are a number of very good reasons for doing what I'm going to ask students to do. Now, I've only been teaching for 10 years, but my experience says that the method I'm about to show you ensures that students learn to do it well and without making too many mistakes. One of the challenges of learning to do this is that it requires a very different kind of thinking from what most students are used to. And so that's one reason for doing this, is because it requires a change in the way of thinking. The other reason is that when you're looking at questions like this one, it's very, very easy to make a mistake. The third reason, as a teacher, if I were to sit down and look at your work, and if all you had written down was 27, there is no way that as a teacher I could identify what you did wrong. There's way too many possibilities here. By writing out the work step by step by step in thorough, complete detail, as a teacher I am able to identify weak points and provide assistance far more effectively. It also encourages thorough, methodical thinking, which is very important when you're doing this kind of work. Now, when you move on from my classroom to other grades, there are many shortcuts you're going to be able to find. And there are faster ways to do it than the way I'm about to show you. But this is the way that it must be done in my classroom. And I have found this to be extremely effective. I would say that 95% of the students that I've taught using this technique are able to do it and do it well at the end of the year. So, let's begin. Here's the question we're going to work with. I've even got the instructions carefully written out. Step 1. Write down the equation, and I'm going to insist on students copy the equation from whatever textbook assignment we're working. Copy it onto your work. And then you're going to place an equal sign on the line below. In fact, when I mark students' work, this is worth a point. And the way I've designed my questions, a student can have the correct answer and fail. Because quite frankly, I'm not interested in the correct answer. What I'm interested in is, do you know how to get it? And I want to have clear demonstration written down on paper that you understand how to find the answer, not just magically have the correct answer. And so there are far more points in the way I evaluate questions for the work than there is for the answer. So simply copying down the question is worth a point. And you might think, my goodness, that's easy. Well, I hope it is, because the copying is one of the key mistakes people make. The second step, place an equal sign on the line below, like this. All right, that's good enough. Let's look at step 2. Pick one operation from the equation to do. Use BEDMAS and then left to right to decide what to do. Circle it in a bright color. So I'm going to look at this question, and I'm going to grab my BEDMAS notes, and I'm going to think, okay, BEDMAS, what do I got to work? Brackets, are there any? And I want you, as students, to practice this every single time. Work through the whole thing. Are there brackets? No brackets. Are there exponents or roots? I don't know what they are, but nope, they're not here. Division and multiplication, yes. I have one division, multiplication. So I don't have to make any other decisions, but I'm going to circle the thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 times 4. That's what I'm choosing to do. All right, I've circled it. Excellent. So that was step 2. Now, let's look at step 3. Write down all the parts of the equation which you're not doing beside the equal sign. This is such a huge mistake by students. Too often they'll rush off to go 2 times 4. Oh, the answer is 8. I'm done. And they're going to move on. But they lose pieces, especially when you're looking at questions that look like this. It is so easy to lose that and that. So, always, I insist that the very next step is that students copy down everything they didn't circle. So this is the next step. All right. So that's a huge deal. Common mistakes right here. Step 4. Fill in the answer from the one operation you chose to do. Excellent. 2 times 4. Well, that's 8. All right. Step 5. If the question is not complete, place an equal sign on the line below and repeat steps 2 to 4 until the question is complete. All right. Equal sign on the line below. Choose one operation. I've only got one operation, so I'll circle that. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Excellent. I've solved my first question. Next example. You'll notice this is the same question, but with brackets. Because often students don't see what's the point of brackets. What do they mean? What's it for? This question will show you. So let's continue. Step 1. Write down the equation, place an equal sign on the line below. Step 2. Pick one operation from the equation to do. Use BEDMAS and then left to right to decide what to do. Circle it in a bright color. So here's my order of operations. Brackets. Hey, I've got brackets. Inside the brackets, sometimes there's more than one number. That's important to keep in mind. Inside the brackets, you would do BEDMAS over again inside the brackets. Now, in this case, there's only one number, so there's nothing to worry about. But whenever you run into a set of brackets, you do BEDMAS inside the brackets over again. So inside the brackets, I see this. Notice I'm not circling the brackets, I'm circling the stuff inside the brackets because I'm choosing 2 plus 2. I'm circling that, not the brackets themselves. And that's important. Step 3, write down all the parts of the equation which you are not doing beside the equal sign. Make sure to copy exactly. So, I didn't circle the brackets, so I'm going to copy them. That's important. Now, this particular question, it actually won't matter, but it's a really important habit to get into because there are questions that those brackets are going to matter a lot. All right, step 4. Fill in the answer from one operation you choose to do. Okay, 2 plus 2 is 4. Step 5, if the question is not complete, place an equal sign on the line below and repeat steps 2 to 4 until the question is complete. All right, question on the line below. I'm going to go back here. Brackets. Ooh, I've got brackets. I go inside and, well, there's nothing to do. So those brackets are actually unnecessary. At this point, I could start leaving them out. But please, be in the habit of leaving them in if you're just learning. And that's one thing I'm going to insist on in my classroom. Exponents and roots. Nope, there's no exponents and roots. Division and multiplication. There is multiplication. And I can hear some of you saying, oh, come on, Mr. V, there's only one operation here. You don't have to go through this whole rigmarole. Get in the habit. Practice, practice, practice. This is a way of thinking. Drill this into your head until it's there permanently. So, division and multiplication, I'm going to circle the thing that I'm going to do. 4 times 4 is 16. That question is done. And notice the difference between these two questions. This question has no brackets, and the answer was 10. This question has brackets, and the answer is 16. Brackets are extremely important. Next question. Here's another example. This time I won't be showing you the sheets on which I've written all these things out. I'm simply going to be saying them as I work. Step 1, copy out the equation, write an equal sign on the line below. Step 2, choose one operation. Using BEDMAS and left to right. Okay, brackets, no brackets. Exponents and roots, no exponents or roots. Division or multiplication. I have both division and multiplication. I have to choose the one that's on the left. Just like you read from left to right in English, we're going to go from left to right in math. Circle the operation that you're going to do. Write down everything you're not doing on the line below. Then, 6 times 2 is 12. Question is not finished. Next line. BEDMAS again. Brackets. None. Exponents and roots. None. Division and multiplication. Yes, there is one division question. Copy down all the things that you're not going to do on the line below. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Brackets. Exponents. Division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. 15. Next example. Wait a minute. Mr. V, this looks funny. There's something wrong here. What's the 6 doing? Mathematicians are lazy. They're always looking for shortcuts. If you see a 6 outside of set of brackets like this, what it actually means is